Hello friends, my name is Ishita, and today's story begins with Emma, a beautiful and popular girl who wakes up early to get ready for school. Emma is a well-liked student with many friends. On the other hand, we have Dean, a lazy boy who wakes up late, brushes his teeth, and immediately starts playing video games. His father, Jack, scolds him for being late to school. Meanwhile, Emma's mother, Barbara, drops her and her younger sister, Stacy, at school. At school, Emma meets her best friend, Liz, who teases her when a boy named Stephen greets Emma. In class, their teacher, Mr. Christian Sen, announces a school trip to Trinity Island the next morning at 7 a.m. While he's explaining the details, Emma arrives late and bumps into Dean, who sarcastically calls her, "Sorry, princess." Liz later tells Emma that Dean is only going on the trip because his father paid for it. At lunch, Liz gossips about Emma and Stephen, saying they have a week to set them up during the trip. But Emma insists they should focus on the trip instead. Meanwhile, Dean is seen cutting an apple with a knife, which gets him in trouble with their teacher, Miss Collier, who sends him to the principal's office. Liz comments that Emma shouldn't waste time with guys like Dean when a hot guy like Stephen likes her. The next morning, Emma gets ready for the trip, thanking her parents, Phil and Barbara, for letting her go. Dean, however, doesn't want to go, but his father convinces him by saying how hard he worked to secure his spot despite his behavior. On the bus, Stephen asks Emma how she's doing, making Liz tease her again. They arrive at Trinidad Island, where Miss Collier tells them to enjoy the pool but return before dinner. Later, Emma and her friends go to the pool, where she meets Stephen, and they all have fun. Dean watches them alone from the balcony. That evening, Liz tells Emma about a party on a local boat, invited by Stephen. Emma hesitates but is convinced to go. At the party, Emma sees Stephen kissing another girl and leaves, upset. Dean notices and taunts her, but suddenly the police raid the party for drugs. In the chaos, Emma slips and falls into the water. Dean jumps in to save her, and they escape on a small boat. Dean cuts the boat's rope to avoid the police, assuming they'll return to the main boat later. But the boat drifts away, and a storm approaches. By morning, they find themselves stranded in the Arabian Sea with no motor. Waves push them to a deserted island. On the island, they search for help but find nothing. Dean discovers a flare gun in the boat. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Mr. Christian Sen cancels the trip due to the party incident. Liz realizes Emma is missing and tells Miss Collier, who checks attendance and finds Dean is also gone. The police investigate, but they believe on the island, Emma writes SOS in the sand while Dean hunts for food. They build a shelter, and over time, they grow closer. One night, Dean comforts Emma when she's scared, and they share a kiss. Back home, their parents and friends lose hope as months pass. News reports declare them officially missing, presumed dead. But Barbara refuses to give up and hires a private rescue team. On the island, Emma and Dean adapt, learning to hunt and survive. One day, Emma gets sick, and Dean wonders if she's pregnant. Later, a monkey steals their flare gun, but they retrieve it and signal a passing helicopter. Finally, after 3 months, they're rescued. At the airport, their families and friends rejoice. But back home, Emma and Dean struggle to readjust. At a party, Dean waits for Emma in the rain, and they reunite, sharing a kiss as they remember their time on the island. After a disastrous school trip, perfect student Emma and troublemaker Dean wake up stranded, completely alone. No phones, no rules, no way home. As days turn to weeks, their survival depends on the one person they swore they'd never trust. But the real danger isn't the island. It's what happens when rescue finally comes.